For if we sin willfully after we have received the knowledge of the truth, there no longer remains a sacrifice for sins. This Bible verse used to trouble me greatly when I used to believe that I could lose my salvation from sinning too much or from habitual sinning. I have since then, this has been a while, learned that no. We hear people preaching these things and we don't, selah, meditate on it. We don't look into what the scripture is truly saying here. Look at what it's saying below. But a certain fearful expectation of judgment and fiery indignation, which will devour the adversaries. We're not adversaries. It's like we read one verse, we don't look at the context around it. We're not the adversary. What is the adversary? The word Satan or Satan means adversary. It means accuser. We are not the subject of his wrath. So if we sin willfully, and you will, and I will, I know that we're not going to go to hell if we make a lie. Now, that does not say we should lie. But you got to be honest with me and you. How many people here can honestly say that they have never willfully sinned since they got saved? Does that mean you're now disqualified to go to heaven? If that were true, then no one would get to heaven. Then Jesus died in vain. And it's really, really deeply bothering me when people are saying, oh, well, Jesus died for us, so we got to keep it. We got to keep our salvation. We got to work. No, if we have to work to keep our salvation, not a single person is going to go to heaven. Jesus' sacrifice was once and forever. He didn't die and then rose again from the dead so that you can sin and go to hell. If you are saved, you're saved. You're not saved and then unsaved and then maybe get saved again and unsaved. What if I sin right before I die? What if I get mad and say a curse word at somebody in front of me and all of a sudden another car hits me and kills me? That does not mean I'm going to hell. Look, we can rest in the salvation that Christ paid for. He died on a cross, rose from the dead to secure our salvation. If we sin willfully after we have received the knowledge of truth, there no longer remains a sacrifice for sin. We don't have to get sacrifices over and over again. There no longer remains a sacrifice for sins. We don't sin over and over again. We don't get sacrifices over and over again. It's once and for all. That's exactly what it's trying to tell you. People go, well, back in the day, you sin, you go sacrifice. You sin, you go sacrifice. The sacrifice has been made. We don't re-sacrifice. We don't crucify Christ. It's done. Also, it doesn't say anything here that you will burn in hell for eternity if you say a cuss word. Nothing here. If we sin willfully, we'll burn in hell for eternity. That's not what it's saying. So please be really careful. I really, if you want to believe in damnable doctrines, that's on you. But stop going out here and telling young and naive new believers these things. When I got saved, I got into the Word, and then along came some very clever and very divisive people that, they tried to entice me with all the fun side of Christianity. We can dance and we can, but I think I went from one extreme to another, and the fun side of Christianity, so to speak, or I should say churchianity, had a lot of bad doctrine in it. I'm not saying the fundamental independent Baptists didn't either. But you need to really read the Bible carefully. Stop following all these preachers out here that are not focused on Jesus Christ. I know I did for a long time. I have a lot of Kenneth Copeland DVDs and CDs and cassette tapes and Joyce Myers and all those people, because I was like, I got to name it and claim it. I mean, the reason this world's going to hell is because I'm not making enough money. And if I made more money, I can build a tower to radio signals and blah, 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 blah. I was so focused on everything but getting my next door neighbor saved or anything else like that. So while we're out here trying to name it and claim it and make all that money, remember, Jesus didn't come for you to worry and stress about your own salvation. If you're worried about your own salvation, you're very self-centered. I'm just going to say it. We need to really care about other people's salvations. Once we get saved, we're saved. Done. Now, go out there and get other people saved. See what I'm saying? If we get saved and we stress and worry constantly, we're never, ever going to win another soul to heaven. So, I mean, there are people on both sides of the fence of this. And I'm talking about there are saved people that believe you can lose your salvation, and there's unsaved people who lose your salvation. Either way, once you are saved, you're saved forever. You can rest in that salvation. I've seen a lot of people making comments on Instagram about, oh yeah, we could lose our salvation. They would try to explain using this verse and other verses. I'm going, you have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, I used to stress over this too, but you really need to understand this. And whenever I call them out, of course, then they start mocking and schmocking. I'm going, look, I'm trying to help you, because either you are saved, which when they start mocking, I have to question that, and you just aren't resting in his salvation, or you're not saved because you're relying on works rather than the salvation that Christ gave us. Either way, I just pray that if you're out there and you need this word, I hope it's for you, because there's a lot of people out there that are schmocking and mocking, and that's just more signs that we're in the last days. So if you're out there and you need this word, I pray that this will go into your soul and let you realize that you are saved. You don't have to worry about, oh, if I sin, I'm going to go to hell. No, that's not how it works. Jesus didn't die to get you saved and then just let you burn in hell anyway. That's not eternal. And Jesus died to save us eternally.